step in our animation is to make our text really pop once it appears in our scene here. So we're going to do that by adding an extra design in here. We're going to draw this freehand. So I'm going to go up and grab my pen tool here. Okay, when I hover on here, that gives me my pen tool. Now, I want to make a nice curved line here to kind of outline Konwinski Tech. If you notice, there's a couple ways to draw with my pen tool. I can just go click 1, 2, click, 3, click, 4, click, 5, click. That is not a very smooth line, okay? So that's not really the effect that I'm going for. And to make any other changes on here, it's going to be messy. So let me undo that here. Let me Control Z will undo it. And I'm going to start over and do it the way that I should from the beginning with my pen tool. So you can hit G on your keyboard if you'd like to just use the shortcut. So instead of clicking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to depress my mouse and hold it and drag it out to get these handles a little bit. And those are going to tip the direction how the line goes, and it's going to control my curve. Those are Bezier curve lines. And I don't want to bring them out like this. That's way too far. So keep them nice and tight, and we can adjust them later. But we don't want those to overlap between our points that we're clicking. So I'm going to let go of my mouse button, and that locks it in there. Now, it's still in the drawing mode. So as long as I don't click on this, if I click on one of these handles, it's going to adjust what I have. If I click down here, it's going to draw the next point in my line. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to drag out the next point. So I depress the mouse and drag. That's too far, you notice. And I want to bring it here. So I have a nice sweeping curve. There's 1, 2. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to keep going around here a little bit. There's 3. Drag it out a little bit. I don't want these to overlap. Okay, that's when we get real kinky lines. And I don't want it to turn around backwards. That's when it gets confusing. So I want to have it go straight out with short curves. And then I can bring this one up here, do the same thing. And I'm going to bring this back down here and kind of tip it to be in line with that. All right. So I have that in there. I can adjust it in a few minutes. Okay. Perhaps yours doesn't have the thickness or anything on it. Let's actually do some adjustments in it. I want to change the color and give it change my stroke. So first thing, okay, I'm going to go up here and let me actually go to fill. Okay, I don't need fill turned on, but I want my stroke. Let's see here. Okay, fill options. We can set that at no fill. And we can change our stroke color here, and you notice that's going to change the color of our line. So I would like to have mine close to the color of the yellow that we chose for my Konwinski Tech, and I'm going to select it. Now, if I want to make that thicker or thinner, I can come over here. By default, I think it was 2, 1 or 2, and all you could see is that blue line. So make it up a little bigger, and you should be able to see it. Okay. Now to change this, so I don't accidentally keep drawing things with my pen tool, I'm going to come up here and grab my selection tool or hit V on my keyboard. Okay. If it's a little short, I can stretch it. I can drag it. Okay. And I can kind of move this around. Now I got to be careful. I wanted to move the whole box and I accidentally grabbed that handle. So I'm going to let go and do undo. Okay. And I got to be careful where I grab the box. I can adjust that. Now, click back on the line. Okay, double click, and I can move these points and kind of change them around and make sure that it's rounded out the way I want. Okay, so either tighten these up or stretch them out a little bit. Adjust the angle. Let me zoom in on here so I can actually see what I'm doing and get it set how you like. Okay. Looks like it has this kind of a kink in there when this comes out, and I want to smooth that there. I want to just kind of keep that more of a sweeping curve and no kinks. All right, so I have the line there, and we want to change the way it looks so it's not so squared off on the ends. To do that, if I expand my shape layer, So let me come down here, and I'm going to Control All and hide some of these things. So I don't need to have all those open. And I'm just going to open my shape layer. And what do we have here? I'm going to go Content, Shape. And stroke is what we added to this shape. Okay, that's what we're changing, because that fill color with the yellow is the stroke, the width and the height. If you notice the end cap, okay, how this ends is represented with a butt cap, which is squared off. I can change that to a round cap, and that gives me a nice round edge. And another thing that's in here that you may want to do, this was in the original tutorial, was to taper one of these ends, okay? And I have the end length or the start length, and I can have it tapered down and here. So as I bring this up to 100%, you can see it goes farther down. I don't need to have 100% doesn't look horrible, but maybe I'll do it somewhere between 80 and 100. All right, so that's tapered. Okay, I can click off, and it just gives it a little bit of style. Now I can collapse this down. So if I want to get rid of all of this for now, I'm going to go Control, I'm just going to hit, let's see, I can go on here and go U to collapse all those. I can highlight these and hit U again, collapse those down. All right. If I go here now, and we want to animate this, how do I do that? Do you remember how we animated our white paths? We can go over here to add, and we did a trim path. Okay, we can do the same thing on this. What we want to do is, let's see, I want this to trim path animate after my Konwinski text is in there, and I don't know where my keys are for that. So I'm going to click on here and hit U, just so that my keys show up for here. That's going to let me know where I want to animate my trim path here. So I'm going to expand trim path. That's what we just added. And under the start menu, okay, let's slide my toolbar over somewhere in between. Let's see, I'll do it after it grows. And somewhere around here, I'm going to turn on my start. Okay, so I'm going to go 0 there and scroll over here a few frames. What is that? Maybe 5 frames, 6 frames, 5 frames. And I'm going to turn this up to 100%. Okay. Now I'm going to do the same thing for end, except I'm going to have that offset, kind of how these offset down here, my wipe up pass. I'm going to turn end on, have this start at 0, and then scroll this over and have it end at 100%. All right, and let's animate that and see what we have. Now, okay, so what happens when it gets to that? If that goes too fast and you want that to swipe a little bit slower, you don't have to erase anything in here. All you have to do is grab your keys and drag them down, and that will separate the time that it has for animation on there. It's going to add a few more frames in between and slow things down. All right, I like that a little better, and it's slowed down. All right, we're going to call that a wrap for this video. Okay, so thanks for joining me on this one, and we will come back and we will see you in the next one, and keep on designing. Take care.